Welcome to the University of Illinois Wheelchair Track Team's video series on how to use a finger-thumb glove style. I'm Adam Blakeney. I'm the head coach of the University of Illinois Wheelchair Track Team. In this video, we'll cover the second of four phases comprising the racing wheelchair stroke, framing the discussion around how to effectively use a finger-thumb style glove. The stroke's second phase is called the drive. The primary goal of the drive phase is to effectively apply force to the hand ring. When we say effectively, we mean to say that the athlete delivers force into the hand ring that serves to accelerate the racing chair forward. It's not enough to simply punch the hand ring as hard as possible. Doing so in an unrefined manner will cause the athlete to apply braking forces to the wheel, which of course runs counter to creating velocity. Instead, this energy must be transferred from the athlete into the hand ring in a way that's congruent to the wheel's rotation. It's this skill, the ability to seamlessly interface the hand with the hand ring, that's the key determinant for success in this sport. An indication that an athlete's effectively applying force to the hand ring is the appearance of what we call the power position. It's a shape the athlete arms assume during which they are in elbow flexion, wrist extension, and hand supination. Here we see an athlete achieving the power position. Notice the angle of the elbow and the wrist. We see the power position near the latter part of the drive phase, typically around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock on the hand ring. Another shot, this time from the rear, of an athlete achieving the power position. Same thing, look at the elbow and the wrist. When I analyze video of an athlete's stroke, I first look for this shape. Nearly always, if they're getting to that power position, it means they've achieved good load and good drive. And we know this because in order to reach that position, everything preceding it must have been done correctly. A missed power position generally means mistakes during the load and drive phase have been made. In concert with the power position, we also look at the shoulders, spine profile. The goal is to achieve a firm shoulder-to-shoulder balance that intersects with the spine in order to create a foundational anchor from which the arms can work. You can see a very nice balance on this athlete. Now, of course, how this looks for each athlete will be dependent upon their specific body profile, with disability-specific considerations accounted for. Let's take a look at how the hand moves across coverage of the hand ring during the drive phase. This series of images illustrates how the pinky side of the hand rotates inward toward the wheel. Notice how, as the athlete moves from load at 1 o'clock to 3:30, then to 6 o'clock, how the palm of the hand moves, becoming nearly parallel with the wheel by the time the arm achieves power position. Looking at the same movement, watch the pinky rotate inward and the palm of the hand flatten to parallel with the wheel. When it gets to 6 o'clock, we can see the finger shelf driving into the hand ring. In this animation, we can get a closer look at how that finger shelf drives into the hand ring. This leads us to our drive phase cue, feel the hand ring on the fingers. We want the athlete to be in tune with the feel of the hand ring, and the softer plastic gloves we encourage novice athletes to use allows for that haptic feedback. This cue works on the principle that in order to achieve that feel, the athletes must position the hand appropriately as they progress through the drive phase. Notice how this athlete locks the finger shelf into the hand ring and rotates the pinky inwards to achieve a sound power position. You can see the fingers driving into the hand ring here. A common mistake is to stay on the thumb as the primary point of contact during the drive phase. Notice how this athlete does not rotate the pinky inwards toward the wheel, but rather maintains a static wrist. This forces them to pull the hand ring down with their thumb, thereby drastically limiting the amount of force able to be applied. If you remember the analogy used in the first video of this series, this is akin to pushing the table on wheels by pressing down on its top and using a combination of friction and adduction to move it. As you recall, this was not an overly effective strategy to use. Before I show a best practice example of the drive phase, let's quickly touch on the point of contact with the hand ring during drive. We aim to have the athlete apply force from around 1:30 to 2 o'clock till 7:30, 8 o'clock, but acknowledge that arm length can limit the ability to make effective contact with the ring past 6 o'clock. Here's a best practice example of optimal drive. You can see this athlete achieving each of the goals discussed in this presentation. Pay particular attention to their power position. This athlete's power position is world class.